Feed the beast.
John Celestri. How you doing, John?
Good morning, Ted. How you doing? I say
Beautiful.
I'm revealing what time we're doing this, but it's fine. Hi, how you doing, Ted?
Very good. Very well. And thank you
Yeah.
for asking me to be part of this. This is a great venture. I think that people are really going to enjoy this.
Mhm.
Um, People know, just so that they know, my background, if it's the first time that you're tuning into Ted Davies Artistry, my background is I'm an artist author. I spent about 30 years in architecture prior to this, this commitment, my passion. And I'm best known for my books, Retrieve and Grimm 101. And, John, tell them your accolades, man. Go for it. This is amazing.
Well, I've been a professional comic book animator and comic book artist since the early 70s, 1970s, and I've worked on many feature films and TV specials, and I animated the first Boba Fett in the Star Wars Holiday Special. So I'm part of, I guess, the canon now.
Abs-
So
Absolutely.
that's it. So, but besides that, that was back in early, late 70s. But since I worked on He-Man and She-Ra, the Rock and Rule feature film, the Dragon's Lair and Space Ace video games, uh, did all kinds of commercials, and just did, especially the particular Batman commercials that are still on the YouTube channel. There,
Hmm.
you can go and see it on there. And so I'm doing comic books. I've authored and co-authored crime fiction novels, and there's something, I've been. This is what I've done for the better part of my life, really. So it's those are the things that I have done, and so that's what I'm bringing to the table here.
Hmm.
And so there you go.
Um, the best thing about you, John, is that, and people that don't know you, you've affected us within our lives. People don't realize how much of him, for me. I remember when I first saw the Boba Fett, the animated thing. I was, I think, 8 or 9 when it came out. And I was over the moon. I didn't even know who this character was,
Right.
and I was at Star Wars. I was
Yeah.
6 years old, in the,
Right.
walking into the movie theater with my parents, my brothers, and my sister. So for me, it was so impressionable. It was such
Mhm.
an elevating experience. And that's, even my kids now, we've enjoyed Star Wars throughout their growing up,
Mhm.
so your effect on my generation, not only mine but other generations as well, is why I really wanted to, when you asked me to do this, I was really absolutely, because I think that what you have to share, your knowledge and your experience, is so vital to people that are creative, that are trying to get their ideas onto paper. um, and that's why we're doing this, so
Right.
that people know.
Right.
Do you want to tell them the title of the show,
Yes. We're calling it Feed the Beast.
and
And
why is it called that? So that
well,
people
it's
understand.
called Feed the Beast because all entertainment media is a beast that needs content. Without content, there is nothing. So therefore, the idea of feeding the beast, because it's insatiable, it can't just run on reruns, and it seems to be that way. But people want to have new material, and it has to be material that can be groundbreaking. But here's the funny thing about groundbreaking material: there's always a connectability to the audience. So there is something familiar about what is new. There's the things that you there are certain things that audiences, human beings, react to, and they find it comfortable. But anyway, it's like your tastes are, like, you're feeding your kid, or you're
Hmm.
here, you get something and you eat it, because you need something, and you eat it, you taste it, and then you either are pleased by it, or you spit it out. And
Mhm.
there is the element of you as a beast, you as an animal. Media needs content. And if you don't know what the right formulas are or the recipe, let's not call it
Mhm.
formula,
Right.
recipes. You can play with the recipes, but some recipes go too wide and
Mm.
there's not much of an audience. Or they are, I mean, everything is salt, fat, and sugar in all recipes. Same thing is for content, or there is salt, fat, and sugar. And it's how you blend it together makes you unique. That's your thing. So as part of feeding the beast, the idea is to help you understand how to how to create these materials and use the elements where they will that everybody has at their disposal. How's that?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's perfect. And that's we wanted to, once we discussed this,
Mhm.
if I can be candid with our audience, you contacted me probably about, I don't know, 2 months ago, probably, when
Yeah,
we were
something around that.
roughly,
Yeah.
and it was a very very easy conversation because it
Mhm.
was something to where you brought this wealth of knowledge, said, hey, we need a format to share this, to hopefully
Mhm.
inspire people to get to the point where they're getting pen to paper,
Mhm. Yeah.
getting them to the point where their ideas can be made into
Right.
something great,
Mhm.
in a comic or in a prose fashion, which I think it's really needed in
Mhm.
today's world. Um, do you think that do you think that this format is good for the people that are just starting out, or do you think this is good for the seasoned person? I think it's for both. But what do you think?
Well, I think it is for both. One is that the people just starting out, they're trying to figure it out on their own. Okay,
Mhm.
but for the seasoned, a person, a lot of the times they need to be reminded because even seasoned pro doesn't mean that they're going to remember certain things. And it's the best thing is constantly going back to the fundamentals. It's like a ball player who's got great talent, but they manage to do all kinds of things, but fundamentally they have to remember how to do things. I mean, the New York Mets. I'll just say this.
Sure.
Let's look at an analogy with Buck Showalter, the new
Mhm.
manager.
Mhm.
He starts every clubhouse meeting before the game start, going over the rules, what the umpires are looking for, and what will happen. All of those things come to. These are all professionals. They should know the
Mhm.
rules,
Sure.
but you have to be reminded. So so that's what I say. I mean, I've been in the business long enough that I can at least have a peer conversation with almost everybody.
Right. Well, and that's important because I think that what we're going to do is this is actually going to correspond with a product that you've already gone through. You
Mm,
actually offer,
yeah,
which you're going to put in the description so you guys can look it up and order it.
mhm.
Do you have it on hand? The
Yeah.
PDF or the?
This is the okay.
Mhm.
This is the actual ash can where I show how I put together a 7-page story from beginning to end, from
Mhm.
the first post-it notes to basically the ending, and rough sketches. I'll explain all the various things, and it's a 12-page thing that I did as part of of my previous Kickstarter, or rather Indiegogo campaign for
Mhm.
Bloodwing Angel Chronicles. But what I've done is I also have it as a PDF, that you can get,
Right.
get online. So
So we can, and what we're going to try to do then is use that as a guideline, as
right,
a reminder line
right,
of kind of where to work with and how
right.
to get your ideas down. Very simple way to do it as far as following a map, if you will.
Hmm.
And I think that that's a really good structure. And you guys can find out the details on that in the description, so that way,
Hmm.
if you guys want to follow along with us, then
Right.
you can get the PDF, or they can order both, right? Or the PDF or the
Well,
book itself.
the PDF you can get, straight on without
Hmm.
anything else. To actually get the actual paper one, I add on part two, my Bloodwing Angel Chronicles,
Okay.
which is
So
in demand right now. So you have to go to that website anyway to get the PDF.
okay,
So you can
but it's
check that out.
like I said, it'll be in the description. Very
Yeah.
easy. One of the things that I loved about we had a chance to meet. John and I had a chance to meet in Lexington at the Lexington Comic Con back 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
4 weeks ago. Yeah.
And one of the things that John brought was this book here in rough sketch, and this is also available on Indiegogo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
once you're a fan of John, you'll find all that
Yeah.
information, and we'll put the proper links in the description as well. This is nice because it can go through and show you literally a small glimpse of his history of what he's done. I'm a fanboy, so for me to even be talking with you in this capacity is almost mind blowing for me. And I think it's very important that we as creatives in my generation know and share who you are with other people of your same stature. That's one thing that I really wanted in this show. I want people to understand the not luxury, but the stewardship that you've we're going to continue this on. This is
Mm.
the idea, and I want to
Right.
make sure that and you are recognized for the efforts that you've put forth in your career. I really think that's important. This book shows that. If you guys get on Disney Plus and watch your Boba Fett animation, I mean, your work is it's everywhere as far as you can check it out. It's all over the place. But I'm fanboying here again. Um, Today pretty much was the introduction, though. We're just trying to give
Mhm.
you a overview of what we're trying to accomplish.
Don't think that it's just going to be a paint by numbers thing. Um, I'm not going to show you tricks. And people think that, oh, that's the trick. There is no trick. What it is, is be prepared to understand that there is a lot of hard work that goes into it. But if you can enjoy the process, then the work doesn't doesn't phase you.
It
You
doesn't
know,
burden. It
it
doesn't burden
doesn't
you.
burden you. I want people also know that everything that we talk about is relatable and usable, whether you are doing comic books, animation, screenplays, film, and novels, because you everything is a certain kind of visualization, and
Mm,
that is if you can't think visually, then how are you going to put it into words? And so what character development, tone of what you're writing about, the worlds that you're writing
mm.
about, they're all important in whatever way medium that you're using, whether it being a verbal or a visual. Think in those terms, that it's not just about comic books.
Right, right.
And that's, I think, I want people coming in saying, "Oh, you're not going to do comic books, and you're not doing, ninjas, female ninjas flashing their,
yeah, everything. Yeah,
everything, and so not. No, this is not it. We're talking about what's going on inside the characters, and that's once you understand that, then you can understand where they belong in the world that they're in. And then, how do you draw it? How do you write it? There are certain things. So I think that's the best thing when you come into this
yeah,
the show. That's what come in with that attitude that we're not going to just do one little thing.
correct. And one of the other things that we discussed in the design of the show, and we go back to architecture a lot. You and I
Mhm.
talk a lot about foundation, and
Right,
foundation is what I think you're speaking of right now.
right,
To get to the point where you can start
right.
building that mansion, if you want to call
Yeah.
it that, or that home.
Mhm,
One of the things that we want to do too, and part of Feed the Beast
mhm,
was feeding the beast a bite at a time. and
Right.
that's
Yes.
something
Yeah.
that
Yep.
you and I strive for. We want
Right.
it so it's digestible.
Mhm.
So you
Yeah.
chew your food. You've always heard chew your food.
Yeah.
This is going to be how we're going to be setting up these podcasts. They're going to
Right.
be maybe 20, 30 minutes at the most.
Yeah.
Very easy to replay if you need to, or pause. And
Yeah.
so that's, and we really want to do that. These aren't going to be 3 hour sessions to where you're going to
No.
be just blasted with information. That's not what it's about.
No, and it's
Um,
always in bite-sized pieces, as we say.
right.
But what thing is that when people coming into it, no matter what, they're they think they you don't want to bite off more than you can chew.
Correct.
You
Correct.
know, and that's the thing about it. Everybody says, "I'm going to do a." I need to do world building, and once I've
Hmm.
got that, then I'll have my characters. Well, you know what? You've taken on just a huge thing, and one of the most important things is crawl, then
Yep.
you stand up, and then you toddle, and then you walk, and then you run.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of thing that everybody has to do. And I'll put it this way: when I start a new project, and done a lot of them, it always, even the blank page alone is saying, okay, what am I going to do with this? Well, you start by thinking, and that's the first thing. Think and write, and and don't worry about it. If you've got bad ideas, well, they'll fall off.
Hmm.
So, but anyway, yeah, there you go.
I'm no, well, and I'm with you on that, and and we've been talking about this for weeks, and
Yeah.
we finally got it to the point where we could do it.
Mhm.
I'm excited for
Yeah.
this because I think it's going to be just beneficial across the board for everybody that's trying to be creative.
Yep.
Whether you're an artist, whether you're a storyteller, I really think that storytelling is what we're going to be helping you bring
Yeah.
forth, and I think
Yes.
that that is in a format that's going to be healthy, and it's going to be enough just to you can take 20 minutes out of the day and
Mhm.
learn, and then take that to your journal or to your drawing desk or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do, and I
Yeah.
think that Feed the Beast is going to be really helpful for a lot of people in
Yeah.
whatever, whether you're beginning or not.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I really want to thank you, John, because it's an opportunity for me. I've been so fortunate to get to meet you and be
Mhm.
part of this. If you would have told me 40 years ago that I would be on a podcast with John Celestri, the animator of Boba Fett, I'd say you're nuts. There's no what's a podcast? I wouldn't even know what a podcast
Yeah.
was 40 years ago. Um, so I thank you. I thank you. I think it's going to be just a fantastic venture, and I think it's going to be a lot of good information for people. Really get the creatives, the creative juices flowing, and people producing some work that they can be proud of soon. Thanks so much, John.
See you later. Bye bye.